This is the 2021 Lexus RX350 alongside the 2025 Lexus RX350. And in this video, we're going to do a comparison between the two. So if you've been following along, you know that I now have a Lexus GX460. I'm in the middle of actually making a video after a couple weeks of owning it. I'll give you a hint. It has to do with something called the KDSS. The vehicle is actually in the shop for the weekend. So they gave me this 2025 RX350 as a loaner for the weekend, and I thought, well, why don't I just go ahead and do a comparison between the 2021 that I have and the 2025. I just posted a video just a few days ago about how I think Lexus ruined the RX350 by replacing the engine with a turbo 4-cylinder. Now that I actually have a car in my driveway, I'm going to go ahead and just put it through the paces and see if I stand by that statement. Overall, both cars are very similar in length and width. They've replaced the plastic fender wells with painted fender wells, which is nice. Of course, the back is completely different. You can see where there's a tiny little bumper. You can see that now there is literally no bumper. It looks a lot similar to like the back of the Tesla Model Y, if you've seen those. First thing you're gonna see right off the bat is the door handles are now electronic. The seats are definitely an improvement. I do like these perforated seats. This is definitely a higher quality. I don't know if it's real leather. So the interior is very, very different actually. There's been a steering wheel redesign. The dashboard is now fully digital and very, very few buttons. There's only a couple. Getting out is very similar. You just push this button and it opens. And you might be thinking, oh no, what if the battery stops working? How do I get out? You just pull it the other way and it'll open up. In the past, this leather would just wrap all the way inside. But now the entire inside is like a very sticky rubber. It's amazing how old your car can feel when you put it right next to a brand new car. They have finally gotten rid of this navigation touchpad, this entire thing here. Glove box opens up just straight up like this. Now the button's on the side and it opens sideways. You can push on the other side and then it opens on the other side. I think it's a pretty cool design how you can do that. This cruise control button has been on every single Toyota and Lexus since the 90s, and it is now gone. And it's been replaced by steering wheel controls. And because this middle part is completely gone, they are able to shift all of these buttons and everything down towards the middle, versus the new console, the variable depth, same mechanism, but this is completely different. I think this is very confusing. You can go into gear by going left and then, reverse and drive. But when you're in drive and you go to park, every other Lexus, you move the stick shift around to the top again. This one, you have to push a button to go into park. There's a new button here. Every vehicle that has automatic power down at a stoplight, it's only disabled while the car is running for that drive. And then the next time you turn the car on, you have to disable it again. I wish that you could permanently disable it, but I don't think that it's up to the automakers. I'm pretty sure that's a regulatory thing. Now the seat air conditioning controls are gone. They're now in the screen. The drive select mode is now gone and it's also in the screen. With the navigation gone, that means that everything else you do is on the screen. You can see where they've got these full vents here, and on the other car, it's been replaced by the strange design of a vent, the top and the bottom with a piece of trim covering it. Why would they block off half of your air? Another cut to the roots of Lexus is the steering wheel is now just a piece of wood instead of the full wood that was in all the other ones. You can see they're just giving you a little bit of wood followed by leather around the rest of it. Your charging pad is in here. That is an improvement, actually. Of course, there's space here for a phone or something else. The CD player is now gone, which I have mixed feelings about this because I still have a whole bunch of CDs, but everything's going satellite radio or CarPlay radio or any of the streaming services. And maybe I'm just old school, but I like having tactile buttons. I like having analog gauges. The fact that there's an analog clock, it's a new era. And guess what? They put the time right in the middle of the screen. I'm gonna go ahead and power on. So you'll see the information goes in the middle there, and then sort of you've got your ancillary stuff on the outside and then your speed there. All right, here is the biggest issue I have with this car, and that is the fact that the navigation is now a subscription. So all the cars come with the navigation built in, but you can't actually use it unless you subscribe for a monthly fee. So if you remember back in the day, there was something called Lexus Inform, which was kind of like your roadside assistant like the OnStar system with the General Motors cars. Now you have these assistants, Destination Assist and Intelligent Assistant, and they're cloud-based, so you cannot actually activate the navigation system without the cloud subscription. My view is that if you buy a car, you should have full functionality of that car. If I bought a car that had all the features built in, but I didn't want to turn those features on, I just wanted to use it as a plain car, I should be able to buy that car for $10,000 cheaper, right? Because I should not have to pay for a subscription just to use features that come with the car. If you're gonna have a car with a full touchscreen, I wish they would put in like a haptic feedback where when you actually push the button, it will sort of feedback so it gives you the simulated feel of a tactile button. AC on off, recirc, all this stuff is basically here. I've got my seat. To give you an idea of how the parking assistant, which is really cool, it'll give you, and now it's starting to say you're too close. So I'll go into reverse. Here's a cool little tech side note. So you've got the 360-degree camera here. And normally on most cars you can see the car, which is just like an image or whatever. But watch what happens when I start to actually go in reverse. The car turns transparent, and then check this out. They're actually stitching the road digitally where you can see that. It's pretty cool how they're doing that. And then of course if you're not moving, it puts the car back. But that's some pretty cool tech where in real time. And you actually have more cargo space back here. I think it's because what used to be a bumper is now part of the cargo. Check this out. They did an improvement here where when you pull this closed, it actually has a slot and then a little spot where it will hold. This is the way all the other ones were, where it's just sort of floppy here, and then you have to sort of find its spot where it's supposed to go. Another thing they changed was they put in these electronic release mechanisms. I like that. Yeah, and unfortunately, if you're in the back, there's no way to adjust the seat. It's just a big blank panel right here. There's no adjusting the seat at all. And you can't put the seat down either unless you go all the way around and push the button. In the 2016 to the 2021, you can adjust the seat forward and backwards and adjust the back. You can put it all the way down if you want. And this is not a hybrid, so I'm not sure what is under here, why they would plasticize this whole thing. Looks like the gas tank is directly under there, so that's what they're doing. It went from regular unleaded to premium fuel only. I'm sure that's to get the most out of that 4-cylinder engine. Maybe they'll make up the difference in fuel economy. 5,465 pounds. 275 horsepower with a 2.4 is very impressive because of the fact that it's got a turbo right back here attached to the exhaust. And that's how they're able to get that. But my whole beef with these is that I think that you're underpowering the car with a 4-cylinder engine and you're sort of compensating for that underpower with a turbo. Long term, I don't think that is a good idea. The car has very, very good responsiveness on the throttle. Brakes are the same. I've got a straight road here. I'm just gonna test the throttle response. Oh yeah, the turbo definitely kicks, makes a huge difference. It's gonna feel like the same car in terms of just the way it drives. The comfort of the car is gonna be very similar to what you're used to. The power really feels the same, even though it's got 20 less horsepower. The biggest thing I'm thankful for in this car is that they did not compromise the transmission with a CVT. So you're still getting an 8-speed transmission, which is actually an improvement from all the other models, which had that 6-speed. So after going through the full review, would I buy the 2025 Lexus RX350? I think you'll see over the next 5 years or so, a lot of the automotive manufacturers are going to start bringing back their V8 and V6 engines. Hopefully that happens to Lexus also. This would be my 4th RX350. I think going through the evolution of the various vehicles, I'm a little more resistant to the radical changes that they've made versus if I was a brand new buyer never having driven a Lexus, I would think it's an amazing car. So I think you have to look at it from that perspective where even though I don't like the 4-cylinder, the rest of the car feels like a Lexus. It drives the same, it acts the same, like everything is very refined and very nice. So I can't say that I wouldn't buy one. I think that I would prefer to buy one with the V6, but as you saw in my recent video where I was not ready to let go of the larger engine, I went with the GX460 V8 and I love it. I think it's an amazing truck, but hope this video was helpful for you and I'll catch you next time.